I get asked a lot of questions on how to do the flexibility moves that I perform. And in my course, I go through the key poses and movements to be able to train flexibility. In this video, I'm going to go through some patterns to help you start learning flexibility. But if you want to learn more, go and buy my course. A lot of people jump into my course with little to no understanding of their body. But today, I'm going to help enlighten you guys, help you to gain some balance and open up your body for flexibility. When I first started my flexibility journey, I would move around all day. I'd always be moving, and this is what helped me to gain the base, start to perform the basic levels of the flexibility dance that I now do today. So let's go through some mobility exercises that are really going to help open up your body that you can implement into every day of your life at home. So first of all, let's start with our hip flexors. Now our hip flexors are pretty essential to our body. They lift up our legs, and during daily life, the hip flexors, they get turned off because we sit down on chairs. And then when we're sitting down on chairs, they get fully turned off because they're doing nothing. So they end up getting really tight. So here's a really good exercise to try and open these. I'm going to come down on one knee into a lunge. Now, if you're on a hard ground, put down a pillow underneath your back leg. What I want you to do is put your hands on your hips and keep them square. So I don't want to see your hips going like this, facing the wall. We need to face them forwards towards our front knee and try and keep them in a line. I want you to tilt your pelvis forward. So you're going to go like this, just like that. So you're going to engage your glutes and tilt your pelvis forwards, and then lift up your hands above your head. Try and go slightly deeper into this lunge and twist your body like so. Whilst you're going to do this, push your hip out. So let me show you this from the front. So you're going to go into this lunge. We're going to tilt the pelvis, lean forwards, hands above the head, and twisting. And you can see how my hip is coming out this way, and that's getting that direct stretch in my hip flexor. So you're going to feel it right here. All right, so twist your body and make sure you're breathing whilst doing this. I don't want to see you trying to push as far as you can into a lunge, because you could be very good at doing lunges and going down like this. But in this stretch directly, we want to just target the hip flexor directly. So arms up, tilt your pelvis, engage your glute, push down a little bit, and then twist. And then make sure to do it on the other leg. So we're going to do the same thing. On one knee, tilt the pelvis, engage your glute, hands up above your head, and then we're going to twist. And then come back. And so you should be feeling this directly in your hip flexors. This is an incredibly beneficial exercise to be doing every day. Boom, we've stretched our hip flexors. Now let's move on to our thoracic spine. This is a really great stretch for that. So what you need to do is you get down on your hands and your knees, just like this. And what you're going to do, put one hand by your temple, like so. And we're going to bend in like this. And then you want to twist your elbow up to the ceiling. And whilst you do this, you need to keep your hips stable. So you can see how when I do this, my hips don't move. They stay in that place, right? Now, if your hips are moving like this, then you're not going to get that stretch in your thoracic spine, which is right up here in your back. If you can't keep your hips stable, then just come down, bend your knees like so, and then you're going to do the exact same thing, but with your knees bent. So we're going to go hands by the temple, bend in, and then bend all the way up to the ceiling, elbow to the ceiling. Just like that. Then of course, make sure to do that on the other side. So we're going to go, don't know which way to go. We're going to go this way. So now you can see it a little bit better. But we're going to grab the hand. Boom. Temple right here. This is my left hand this time. Hips in place. Core engaged so they don't move. And now elbow to the ground. And elbow to the ceiling. Elbow to the ground. Elbow to the ceiling. Practice doing this exercise on both sides to open up that thoracic spine. All right, next up is one of my favorite exercises of all time because it opens up so many different parts of your body. So we're gonna come here and we're gonna start lying down. Now, sometimes I actually doze off here because this part's actually quite relaxing, but we're not gonna stay lying flat today, but we are gonna put our hands to either side of our body, and we're gonna push our body up off the ground into a cobra stretch, just like this. Now, when you're doing this, you want to slightly engage your core. So slightly engage your abs whilst doing it to protect your spine. And we're gonna push up into the cobra. In this cobra, it opens up multiple parts of your body. So we're opening up our abs, our hip flexors, our quads, and our back. Now, when you're here, I want you to start twisting from side to side, just like this. You see my shoulders, they're having a little boogie over here. We're going left, we're going right. And we're twisting and twisting, coming higher and coming lower. When you do this stretch, you should not be pushing your body to feeling any pain. So if you feel any pain, then stay away from feeling that pain. So if it's really tricky for you to get up here, then don't worry about it. Then come down here and start moving around in a lower point in the cobra, just like this. Just move from side to side and just mobilizing your spine. You shouldn't be feeling any tension in your legs over here. They shouldn't be doing this. We're going to keep them down on the ground just so we can focus specifically on our spine, abs, flexors, and quads. Just as a bonus exercise after this one, it's always great to end off in a child's pose. And when you do this child's pose, you're going to feel it really feels nice after the cobra stretch because you're balancing off your spine. So here, I like to just wiggle like a worm and come up. The next exercise we're going to do a hamstring hinge. So we're going to try to open up those hamstrings right over here. Hamstrings can also get very tight from just sitting at the desk, sitting at your chair. So this is a very important stretch to do and it feels really good. One of my favorites. What we're going to do is we're going to do a hamstring forward fold. Now, I'm going to break down how to do this properly because a lot of people go into this thinking that they're stretching their hamstrings, but in reality, you need to just make those minor adjustments to really make sure you're stretching your hamstrings to the best abilities. So what we're going to do is we are going to hinge at our hips. So I don't want you to bend your back at all. We're going to keep that back straight, and then I want you to try and aim to only bend from your hips. So here, you can see how I'm just bending only my hips and then slowly going down, breathing, and coming all the way down to as far as I can go. If you're just starting off, you're probably not going to be able to bend all the way down. So what you should do is keep your hands on your legs like so, and then you're bending from your hips, keeping your back straight, and use your knees or your legs for support. So you don't have to put all the weight onto your hamstrings to hold your body up. I'm going to put our hands on our legs like this, and then go to where you feel comfortable, like so, and then just breathe. And go from side to side. You can also use some yoga blocks or pillows and put those in front of you and balance your weight onto that object whilst doing this. You should be feeling this directly down your hamstrings and make sure that you're bending from your hips, keeping your back straight, and then you're going to get the ultimate hamstring stretch, and it is glorious. It's a beautiful stretch. Last but not least, the next mobility exercise is deep squats. Squats are so amazing. That's how your body naturally wants to sit in a squat. But let me show you guys how to get into this squat properly. You're going to keep your back straight and bend our knees, not letting our knees go over our toes. And we're just going to bend down, keeping our back straight and coming all the way as low as we can. So here, I can get my hips all the way to the ground. Now, if you've spent a lot of your time in your life sitting down once more and not really stretching so much, it might be very hard to get to this position where you get all the way to the ground. So you can come and you can use an object like a wall or anything you can hold on to, a pole for example. And so if you come to the side here, we can use this object and we're going to do the same squat. So back straight, we're going to bend our knees, not letting them go over our toes. And then let's say you feel comfortable here, we're going to try and move from side to side at this position. And the whole time you want to be breathing through this. Just like so. And the more you feel relaxed in this position and the more you're breathing through, you're going to end up getting lower and lower. This is such an incredible mobility exercise, especially when I first started off my whole flexibility journey and everything. I would be doing squats all the time. There's so much versatility with them. You can sit on chairs in a squat. So for example, if I'm at the dinner table, sometimes maybe I'll be like this and eating the food. You can get your legs up like this. And at this point, you're opening up your glutes, your hips, your hip flexors. It's super beneficial. And then you can also just practice squats walking on the ground. And this is once again, opening up your hips. This was just 5 mobility exercises that are gonna help you gain flexibility every single day. These are super beneficial to put into your daily routine because these are just natural parts of your body that tighten up over time that you wanna give a TLC to, you know? You wanna give some TLC to these muscles. They don't tighten up over time and you still have that flexibility. You still have that strength in your body, that balance. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and like and subscribe for some more.